Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are happy and healthy. Children, as you all know, we have started this book Honeysuckle, very interesting book, and it's having lots of chapters which are very interesting. And we have completed chapter number 8 yesterday. Today, children, we are going to start a new chapter, that is desert animals. Children, as you all know, you are very familiar about the word desert. Desert is a very familiar word. Desert is a place where you can find many and lots of sands, and it's you can say it's a driest place on the earth, that is called desert. And we have seen in India also there are you can say the run of Kutch, and Rajasthan, half of the Rajasthan is full of desert. So in India also, and the greatest desert of the world is Sahara Desert, and there are two types of the desert. Some are called hot deserts and other is cold deserts. So children, Thar Desert, Sahara Desert is a hot desert, and other desert, Antarctica, is a cold desert. So children, today we are going to talk about deserts animals and how many of species are living there. So children, let us start this chapter, desert animals. So first paragraph, before you read, can you name some desert areas in India and the world? What do you think lives in such areas? So children, as we have discussed, there are many areas in India also, in Rajasthan, Gujarat, there are deserts. And in world also, that we have already discussed, Sahara Desert, Gobi Desert, these are the desert which are hottest desert in the world. So children, first paragraph of this chapter is, deserts are the driest places on earth and sometimes go for months or even years without rain. Children, as you all know, it's desert places very you can say scanty of rain, and very less rain areas are called desert places. So deserts are the driest place, as you all know. They are all most driest placed on earth, and very less rain. Sometimes rain is not there on the desert areas, but even the desert animal cannot survive without water or for a long period in the scorching sun. So they have to find different ways of coping with the harsh condition. Now here, when we are talking about the animals, as you all know, the ship of the desert is called camel. And camel, we have already discussed this in our environmental studies, that camel has its own different structure to store water. So children, as you all know, the animals cannot live without water, but you can see many species of animals are living in the desert areas. So the question arises how they are surviving in the desert areas, because there is a scanty of water, very less water in the desert areas. Some oases obviously are there, but very few. So now they had to develop their you can say the body and their function of their body to restore the water in the other way, because they are not living on that area without any water or any liquid. So they have to store some water somewhere. So These are, you can see, these are the very important aspect of these animals, those who are living in the desert area. So, you can see, for example, Gabriels spend the hottest part of the day in the cool underground burrow, and strange insects called darkling beetles are experts at catching drops of the moisture on their legs. Now, uh, then lifting them into the air until the drops trickle down into their mouths. Not all deserts are endless seas of rolling and dunes. Some are rocky or pebbly and dotted with small bushes, while others are sprinkled with the colorful flowers during the spring. Now here, scorching means very hot. Now I am going to write meaning on the board. Scorching means very hot. Now children, Gerbils are called mouse-like desert rodents, rodents with long hind legs, Now children, these are the meanings of words which are given in this paragraph. Now here you can see, for example, Gerbils spend the hottest part of the day in cool underground burrow. They just dig the burrow and they are living inside the burrow. Rodent. They are the species of rodent, Gerbils, and they just living inside the burrow under the scorching sun. And because under the burrow and in the burrow you can see it's a very cool area for them. And now the other animal is insect, you can say, and a strange insect called darkling beetles. That is a very amazing insect that is you can find in the desert area, that is darkling beetles. It's like a beetle but it's darkling beetles. So are expert at catching drops of the moistures on their legs. They are expert to catch the moisture when its dewdrop is there, so it can catch the moisture from their legs. So not all deserts are endless seas of rolling and dunes. Some are rocky or pebbly and dotted with small bushes, with others sprinkled with colorful flowers during the spring. Now here the different type of the desert animals are living, and some deserts having pebbles, some deserts having different type of the rocks and small dotted with the small bushes, while other are sprinkled with the colorful flowers during the spring. So the God has made accordingly to the weather of the desert. So these animals and insect are made according to the weather, and they are their survival is depend on the moisture or the cold area of the desert. They just find their water, or you can say they just use these type of the things for their survival. Now we are moving to the second paragraph, that is you can find on page number same. The second paragraph is, there are more than 2,300 different kinds of snakes around the world, ranging from just 15 centimeters long to more than 11 meters. So most snakes are quite harmless, but there are a few that are so poisonous they can kill a human being with just one bite. So, children, most snakes lay eggs, but there are many which give birth to their young. In the dry, rocky deserts of America lives a rather evil looking snake with a very bad reputation. Its frightening rattle can be heard as far as 30 meters away, and it can strike with lightning speed. So children, in this paragraph we are going to see there are different type of the snakes are living. Many species of snakes are living in the desert area, and some are very harmful or some are very harmless. So you can see 2,300 species of snakes. 2,300 types of snakes are living in the desert area. So children, it's quite amazing for us that there are so many species you can find in only and only in desert area. So 15, some snakes are having very less length. Here you can see just 15 centimeter. Just 15 centimeter, and two you can see that more than 11 meters. It means the smallest snake's length is 15 centimeter, and the largest snakes you can find in desert area, that is 11 meters. So you can imagine how big they are. Now most snakes is quite harmless. Some snakes are, most of the snakes are harmless. They are not going to bite or not going to any damage to the human being or anyone. But there are few that are so poisonous. There are so many snakes which are living in the desert area. They are so poisonous, and they kill a human being with just one bite. With just one bite, it can kill the human being in a second. So most snake lay eggs. Some snakes which are living in the desert area lays their eggs. Some are, you can, like a mammal, they just give birth to their babies. Now rocky deserts of America lives a rather evil looking snake with a very bad reputation. In the rocky desert of America you can find very dangerous, very famous type of snake, that is the rattlesnake. Its frightening rattle can be heard as far as the 30 meters away. If it is rattling, the sound of the rattling which is coming, you can say these type of the desert are called rattlesnake. So their rattling sound you can heard, it must have heard as far as 30 meters away. If you are 30 meters away of that area, so you can hear the sound of the rattling of that snake. It's quite dangerous, and it can strike with lightning speed. So lightning speed, if you can see, the lightning speeds having a very quick sparkling, so it can bite with the lightning. You can imagine it is so fast in movement, and it is very dangerous snake, and this you can find in America, lives rocky desert of America. Now we are moving to the third paragraph that you can find on page number 113. But the rattlesnakes, or rattler as it's sometimes called, prefers to avoid people if it possibly can. It holds its tail upright and rattles the end whenever it's disturbed, in the hope that the intruder with you go away. However, if its warnings are ignored and it feels threatened, it will coil ready to bite. But the rattler itself cannot hear the noise its own tail makes. Like most snakes, it hears things through vibration in the ground. If a person walks nearby, the snake can feel the movement. But if same person were to shout, it would not hear a thing. Rattler snakes are very common and widespread animals, living right across the American continent from Canada to Argentina. They feed on a variety of prey, including mice, wolves, rats, chipmunks, and many other small animals. Rattlesnakes kill their prey with venom. Venom, it's a kind of poison which each and every snake which are poisonous they are having. Like all snakes, they swallow the unfortunate animals whole. Few snakes have to eat more than once a week, and some each, as the larger python, can survive for a year or more without eating. Now children, in third paragraph you can see it's the most dangerous snake in the snake species, the rattler. Rattler, it's having a sound. If you you must have seen the geographic channel which are coming on our television. So you can see the rattler, you just search it, how it's looking like and how it's moving its tail. And here in this third paragraph you can see a very vivid description of rattler snake. But the rattler snake, or rattler as it's sometimes called, prefers to avoid people if it possibly can. So the rattler snake's behavior or nature is to escape from the people there where the people are living, or there is a town area, so it does not want to live over there. So they just escape from the human being, and it holds its tail upright and rattles the end whenever it disturbs. So here, whenever it's feel that some danger is there, so it just turn its tail upright and start rattling. But it is quite amazing that it cannot listen its own rattling sound. So it's rattling continuously if it's feel the danger nearby. So if if a person who is moving beside, so it's giving warning by its rattling its tail. So like most snake hears things through vibration in the ground. If the person is moving beside it, so as ordinary snake can hear the movement, it can hear by the vibration. If the person is moving beside the snake, so it can hear by the vibration, as you all know. So it's a very common in the snakes, and same in the rattler snake also. So it's quite dangerous. If the person walks nearby, snake can feel the movement, but if the person were to shout, it would not be hear a thing. So if the person is shouting, so it cannot be heard by the snake. So by the vibration it can hear. So children, living right across the American continent from Canada to Argentina, they feed on a variety of prey, including the snakes. As we are talking about rattler snake, so their habitat, you can say, the American continent from Canada to Argentina. So some snakes can swallow the insects or animals and they just digest it by their venoms. Venom means it's a poison which you can find in each and every snake. So rattlesnake kill their prey with venom. Venom, you can say, it's called a poison. So they just kill this prey with the venom. Now, like all snake, they swallow the unfortunate snake. Like other snake, they can swallow the unfortunate animals, and like a python you can see it can swallow animals or anyone, and just it's used to coil itself and just swallow a big animal in one time. So this is such a very amazing thing about the snakes. So they are quite dangerous for us. Like all the snakes, they swallow the unfortunate animals whole. Few snakes have to eat more than once a week, and some, such as larger python, can survive for a year or more without eating. So here children, you can see some snakes can live without food 1 week, or some snakes can live 1 year without food. So the python is one of them. So children, now we are moving to the fourth number paragraph. Mongooses like a hunt together, but they always keep a lookout for the dangerous predators nearby, poking their nose into holes, overturning rocks with their paws, and scratching the ground with their sharp claws. Banded mongoose are very amusing animals to watch. A common sight in many parts of Africa, they travel in groups of about 20 to forage for beetles, um, millipeds, and other small creatures. So mongoose, as you have seen, and you must have seen in your garden area or somewhere, mongoose are very common in India also. So mongoose like to hunt together. The mongooses are also kind of animal which are living in the desert area, and they are moving together in a group, and they just dangerous predators nearby. Always keep a lookout for the dangerous predator. Predator means, I am going to write on the board. So children, you should write it down first. What is the meaning of the predator? Predators, that is an animal naturally preying on others. Now here children, see that mongoose like a hunt together. They are moving in the desert area in a group, and they always keep a lookout for the dangerous predators nearby. So they are very cautious about the predators, those who are an animal naturally preying animals, so on others. So they are very cautious about that. So overturning rocks with their paws and scratching the grounds with their sharp claws. So here they used to scratch on the ground to search their meals, and they're just very conscious about that. And banded mongoose are very amusing animal to watch. So they just stand and they just watch here and there for their meals. A common sight in many parts of Africa, they travel in a group. You can see it's a very common scene in Africa that they are moving in a group. So children, they travel in a group of about 20 to forage. Forage means search for food. Forage means, here I am going to write, forage means search for food. Search for food. They are just wandering in the desert area for search of food in a group. Now the other word is amusing. Amusing. Amusing, here you can see Amusing means interesting, enjoyable. Interesting and enjoyable. So, so you can see the movement of these animals, these mongoose. You can see in Africa they are moving in a group, and you can enjoy for their movement and their searching of food. So how they are searching their food, it just scratches their paw on the ground. So these things you can see, it's quite amazing. Now children, we are moving to the fifth paragraph, and they are very small type of the animals. So we are moving to number 5. They like to hunt together, keeping in touch whenever they go out of sight behind rocks or bushes by twittering and calling. Always on the lookout for danger, hawks, eagles, and large snakes. They warn one another with a special alarm call if they spot anything suspicious. So they are having an alarm system. You can see, because God has provided each and every insect and animals its own safety measure. So now for their safety, they are having an alarm system. This is just alarming to other their mongooses, a group of mongooses, for their very different type of the sound if they see any danger beside themselves. So they just making a sound to alert other group of mongoose. Mongoose are very famous for being able to kill a snake without getting hurt themselves. So their reaction are so fast, and they can dodge each time the snake strikes. They continually make a nuisance of themselves until after a while, when the snakes get tired, they quickly dive in for the kill. So in 6th paragraph, you can see it's quite clever also. Mongoose are very clever to kill the snakes. First, they just their reaction are so fast, and they can dodge. Dodge means it's move quickly to avoid its enemy. So just dodging always. So this movement, very quick movement always they used to do, because the snake is very, you can see it's a very movable thing, and very quickly it can move. So similarly, the mongoose are also used to move very quickly in dodging. They are very expert in dodging. So likewise, they just dodging the snakes continuously. In this continuation, when the snake tired up, so then they used to kill snakes. So because of that quality, they are very famous. So now the new word is dodge. So I am going to write over here dodge. So children, write it down, dodge. Dodge, move quickly, move quickly to avoid its enemy. To avoid its enemy. So the meaning of dodge is move quickly to avoid its enemy. So children, they are famous, and their trick are very interesting. So in 7th paragraph, we can see all the female mongooses have their kitten at about the same time. They are raised by the whole group in a den made inside an old termite mound or hollow log. Then, when most of the adults are out looking for food, 1 or 2 males stay behind to stand guard until the others return for the night. So here you can say the mongoose family, or mongoose female mongoose used to give many child mongoose, in a baby mongoose in a time. So they just bring up with the very you can say with care and love, and here they used to stay inside their burrows, inside their holes, to protect their babies. Now few of adult used to stay inside their homes, and few of the mongoose is used to go out for this in search of food. And here one or two males stay behind to stand guard until two others return for the night. So few male mongoose stays at night to guard their babies. So children, we have completed number 7 paragraph. So tomorrow we will complete 8 and 9, and we will do working with the text also. So children, till then, bye bye and take care. So write all the word meanings in your copy, and we will continue this chapter.